the prohibition to cut down trees, does that only apply to fruit trees or to regular trees? And also, last week, Rabbi Mintz had spoken about the calf whose head gets chopped off, and he explained that it's not a waste when the Torah tells us to do something. And now we're being told that when it comes to saving ourselves during war, we shouldn't even chop down a tree. How does that work?
Well, I mentioned before that's by fruit tree, not a tree that doesn't bear fruit. You're allowed to cut down for the lumber. You're allowed to cut down trees for lumber. If the tree is worth more for lumber than by fruit, you're allowed to cut it down also. Or if the tree is causing problems, it might be a sick tree and it's giving off sickness to other trees around it, you're allowed to cut it down. The different reasons, if you have a good reason to cut it, you're allowed to cut it down. But Torah is saying when you're declaring war, use the other trees, don't use the fruit tree. If you have a choice, so then you use the trees that are used for lumber, but not cut down the tree that's for fruit. So you have to find a different way, different means of making that platform to make war, to find the different trees that are not fruit trees. My comment before you say, when you have a chuppah, for instance, the chassan breaks a glass, right? So breaks the glass, and he said, well, you're destroying a glass, you're not allowed to break a glass, but there's a purpose for it. When we have a purpose for breaking it, so then it's permitted. Because the purpose is for us to remember the destruction of the Holy Temple at the time of our happiness, not to forget the destruction of the Holy Temple is to make a certain sadness. It's such a paradox. That's the saddest time of the chuppah, and by people it's the happiest time. Break the glass, mazel, everything's. You're supposed to feel bad breaking the glass, thinking of the destruction of the Holy Temple at that moment. People don't realize why we're doing it. So to show some sadness at the time of the great happiness, but not to forget the destruction of the Holy Temple. So, but that's not considered Baal Tachlis, destroying something for nothing, because you're doing it for a purpose of this remembrance. So therefore, it's not considered that you broke it for nothing. Okay.